2015, the year of radical and militant youth activism, from the statues must fall to the fees must fall movement. We salute these gallant fighters and affirm their determination, resilience and unity, which brought the ANC government kicking and screaming in that soprano voice of Brablade Nzimande to agree on 0% fee increment in 2016. But these fighters did not stop there. They also raised the bar higher, and that 0% only means fees have been frozen for a year. But the most sustainable solution is when fees fall.
Members, can
is when fees have fallen.
Our voice and not shout.
For the attainment of free education, quality education for all. The ANC's motion that we sit here today and debate youth empowerment reflects their slow pace in understanding the revolutionary time clock of social change. The fees must fall movement is the answer to youth empowerment, because there is no better empowerment you can give to young people than quality education. Everything else you give will not be sustainable if it is not accompanied by quality education. Quality education is the foundation of any conception of human freedom. If you give me the right to life, why let me live without education? If you give me the right to freedom of speech, what will I ever say if I'm not educated? I will suffer the humiliation of not being able to read numbers in front of the entire nation. This is why education must be free, and it must be free for all. This is the greatest human demand of all time, without which both our political freedoms and economic freedoms to come are at risk. When people say we want to be educated, it is evil to send them to loan sharks like EduLoan, to send police to assault them, to shoot them, to arrest them. They seek empowerment, a noble need, the need to be educated. The idea of fees must fall could indeed be interpreted in the three words of Dr. King Jr. when he said, all here and now. The students are not saying they want part of the fees should fall. Like increment, they are saying all fees must fall. They are saying fees must fall right here in South Africa. Do not refer them to another country. They want fees to fall in UCT, VETS, Unilim, Univen, UKZN. Students do not want fees to fall in 20 years. Do not tell them about Vision 2020 or some NDP Vision 2030. They want fees to fall, and they want fees to fall right here, right now. Now, many of you have been saying this demand is unreasonable and have had the audacity to question the students as to where the money will come from. Well, in the same way you have planned to spend 1 trillion on nuclear build, is the same way you should plan on free quality education. The fees must fall historic demand is an absolutely quintessential argument, superior both in its ethical prose and logical power. It is the critique of the entire conception of youth in government policy. Above all, it critiques the idea of the commodification of schooling. The fees must fall, critique says, NFSAS must fall. NFSAS has not changed the 122,000 household income for those who must qualify for the loan. The reality is, even if I had 200,000, I could still not afford, and I could not still afford education. NFSAS is therefore trapped in the logic that fees must fall is fighting against, and that has to do with education being a commodity. It affirms it. No one must take a loan from anybody to be educated. All academically deserving young people must have free access to universities. In addition, if you took what we have been telling you since we got here in Parliament about illicit financial flows, you would have already recovered lots of money to fund education. Nigeria today is recovering 72 billion rands from one company because they listened. In South Africa, an estimate of 385 billion can be recovered annually by going hard on all who engage in profit shifting. Only education is the real empowerment on our people. Free quality education now. Thank you very much.